Hello, my name is Alexandra Duke. I go by Alex for short. And I'm making this video because I am applying to the GSU graduate program for speech language pathology. I have 2 bachelor's degrees. One's from the University of Georgia. I graduated from there in August of 2011 with a degree in Spanish. And my second bachelor's degree is from Utah State University, where I graduated with a degree in communicative disorders and deaf education in May of 2019. And so as far as the prompts go for this video, while I was at USU obtaining my degree in communicative disorders and deaf education, I actually had to write a research paper in my final semester, and we worked in a group setting. This research paper was on bilingualism in the clinical setting. We were to examine not only bilingualism and in speech language pathology, but how we would treat it as SLPs, and also issues that come up with bilingualism, such as overdiagnosis, misdiagnosis, etc. I was working with 3 other women, and I, having had a degree in Spanish, had a very specific idea of how I wanted this paper to be written. I really thought it would be great to tackle this from this very clinical angle. However, the 3 women that I was working with were actually from Latino families and spoke Spanish in their homes growing up, and they really wanted to sort of bring in this element of their own personal experience into the paper. And of course, I thought that that was an excellent idea. Even though I was overridden, it was fine because I don't know what it is like to be a Latino woman in America. And as clinicians, I think it's important. It's incredibly important, especially as an SLP, to be able to work in these group settings and understand that other people have experiences, other people have knowledge that I don't obtain, and come together to work in unison. The paper ended up spectacularly. We got an A, and it actually was one of the more fun group projects that I've ever worked on. So yeah. In addition, the second question, as far as the traits that I think are important for graduate students, especially in trying to become SLPs, I think there's some overriding sort of traits that are probably important for all graduate students, such as like good time management skills and good observational skills. However, I think there's a couple that are particularly pertain to speech language pathology. I think the first one for me is tolerance and compassion. I put those 2 things together because being clinicians and dealing with the general public, we are going to encounter people and families of children or adults or what have you who do not look like we do, don't pray like us, don't vote like us. And it's very important to not only be tolerant, but have the same compassion, bring the same energy to assist and to help these people as I would anybody else. It's crucial to what we do to not discriminate, to not be intolerant, and to look at everyone as an individual and treat them as such. So I put those 2 things together, not only for the tolerance, but because of the compassion. We have to be willing and treat everyone regardless. A next trait that I have is I think it's very important to be persistent and patient. I'm putting those 2 together too. Sorry, I realize this is kind of like you're getting some bonus ones in here. Not only persistent in the sense that we have got to continue to work with some of these kiddos and some of these adults, but we also have to be patient. So we have to be persistent in our treatments, reinforce what we're doing, but we have to be patient with ourselves. We have to be patient with the process, and we have to be patient with our patients. Progress does not happen overnight, and that's critical not only for our success, but for the success of the patient, and that's who really matters in this. And then the last that I think is very important is good listening skills. I think with good listening, all the doors are opened with listening skills. We will learn the material, but be able to start drawing some dots, connecting some dots. And I think It's also important once we get into a clinical setting to listen to our patients, listen to their families, and listen to their needs and apply that. So thank you for your time and thank you for your consideration.